All right, so thank you so much, guys, for the webinar today. And today's topic is going to be cycling infrastructure of Taiwan. And we have the honor of inviting Tano, the founder of Taipei Bicycle Commuter, one of the biggest, most reputable commuter community that focuses on commuting via bicycles. And we have Tommy, the CEO of Circle. Circle is a sleek, design-savvy e-bike. And today, most of the time, we're going to be going over the letter reply that we sent to the Ministry of Transportation, specifically in Taiwan. So we actually list out a few questions to the Ministry of Transportation, and we got a reply from the government. So today, most of the time, we are going to go over these questions and provide our comments. All right, so beforehand, just a disclaimer, all the personal comments from the speakers or opinions from the speakers are their personal opinions. So they don't represent any organizations. We're not trying to defame or attack any individual. So we just like to share our ideas. Every country has rooms for improvement, including USA, including UK. So we're all here to try to improve the situation, especially the cycling infrastructure here in Taiwan. So we're not trying to criticize, we're trying to improve, find ways for solution going forward for Taiwan. All right. So I will pass it to Thanos. Thanos, do you want to do a quick introduction?
Well, I guess you can see my own self-introduction right here, or actually, it's you who put this together, basically. But yeah, I'm the founder of Taipei Bicycle Commuter, mainly Facebook website, but Facebook page. But also it includes Instagram, maybe Threads, something like that. But it was established on Facebook, and I established it a few years ago just because it seemed that, at least at that point, I did not find any true cycling advocacy in Taiwan. All right. Later, I found up to 18 organizations, which are over kind of like all Taiwan organizations for cycling advocacy. Unfortunately, there's not much that you can glean from their activities that would actually represent true cycling advocacy. Mostly, they seem to be running their own let's say, their own interests. So I joined one which seemed to be most concentrated on true advocacy, which is the TUBA, which is the Taiwan what's it called? Taiwan Urban Bicycle Alliance. Okay, so this is, in my mind, they are the ones who are actually truly promoting cycling advocacy, urban cycling, not just leisure or recreation or sports, but actual as means of transportation. So I'm a member there now, but basically, yeah. My opinions are my opinions. Do not blame anything on them. So I'll take responsibility. All right. Thank you.
All right. So Tom's going to be very interesting, his talk. All right. So let's move on to, let's see if I can. All right. So the CEO of Circle is Tommy. Tommy, would you like to give a quick introduction about what you're doing right now?
Yeah.
And your background?
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Wilson. Thank you, Tonos. And it's a pleasure to have a good time to sit here and then have a discussions about the Taiwan cycling infrastructures. So I'm the CEO of Circle, Tommy. Actually, I'm a commuter as well. I use the Circle e-bikes commuting like every day, basically. So actually, I found some problems with cycling in Taipei for sure, and that's why it's really happy that I can contact the tunnels, and then we can come here together, and then we should share our ideas about how to improve the cycling infrastructures for the cyclists in Taiwan. For sure, a lot of things can be improved, and I think the government will try to progress as well, but it takes time for sure. And some we got comments, we got reply from the government or from other friends of our friends. Yeah, we can do a lot of improvement, and that's why we are here today to discuss about these things, and then hopefully we can share this informations or the further solutions to more people can be concerned about the environment that we actually live in, the cities. Yeah. So without saying too much, and let's talk about the topics today. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tommy. So, the audience, thank you so much again. This webinar might take longer than expected as we ask a lot of questions to the Ministry of Transportation, the government. So it's going to take a while, maybe going over time to go through each question one by one. If you guys want to participate and contribute, you guys are more than welcome. 你们可以就是在这边贡献，也可以讲中文或是英文 ，That's fine. We want to keep it an open dialogue, open discussion instead of us three talking amongst ourselves, because your inputs are also equally important for this island. All right, so this is of YouTube. So Thomas, do you want to take over the control of the slides, or you want me to control?
You can. Yeah, I think you can go ahead first, but
okay.
Let me see. Yeah. Please go ahead. Let's have a look. Yeah.
Okay. So I've given control to everyone. If you just request, you guys can control my screen. Everyone can.
Is there sound?
I'm sorry?
There's no sound.
There's no sound. But I have to say, what we are seeing on the screen is
sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Stop here.
Okay, why not? Okay, so I wonder if I can control this.
Control. Yeah. Let me just try again.
Sure.
So I'm gonna give you control, Donald's iPad, and then you take a stab at this. Yes, you can control that.
Okay. So now, so this is Jason Zhang, very respected, basically sustainable transportation advocate here in Taiwan. So let's try to listen once again what he's saying. Wonder if we can do that.
Press play.
Yeah. Unfortunately, still no sound, at least from my side.
I can hear it. Tommy, can you hear?
No, I cannot.
No.
Yeah, no sound.
Only you can hear.
How about
I
that?
can hear it.
Okay, so
maybe we can just read the subtitles, and then Panos can provide commentary, or watch it on YouTube. I don't know exactly.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. We can just go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear this?
No, not really. Let's skip
Okay.
this one. So basically, Professor John
Okay.
is commenting on Taipei or Taiwanese urban cycling infrastructure. He says basically there's still a lot to do. Then there's going to be a part where the commissioner of transportation, so in Chinese, the 交通局台北市交通局局长谢明宏局长. So he gives his comments. Now, this is really interesting. In fact, what he is saying, we can glean 3 points from what he's saying. He says, 我们没有这个多余的空间. He says we do not have that extra space when he's talking about cycling infrastructure, which means for him, cycling is extra. So he's not even going to touch the motorized traffic space that is already given to them. He's only talking about, okay, there is no space for cycling. So cyclists have to learn to live together, learn to be together with cars and with pedestrians. And that seems to be his principle, that how he has run Taipei traffic for the 2 years that he has been the commissioner. And unfortunately, it has been, backward progress for these 2 years. Yeah. Okay. So my short comments. Okay. These were the 2 points. The third point that he was saying was that he's going to make or ask buildings to give some space. Now buildings actually, in Chinese they're called 不动产, which means real estate, which means in fact you cannot move them. They're immovable assets. Now, immovable assets means that you're not going to be able to move them. So how he is going to move immovable assets, we will see. But until we can actually see any results, it's not going to happen. So during the next 2 years, as we have seen already in the past 2 years, there is little hope that we can see anything better. All right, but we will see. Okay. Should we move on?
Yes. Everyone has control of the slides, but this is the next slide.
All right. I have no comments here.
Okay.
I think this was Tommy's.
Tommy, you want to chime in? Yeah.
Okay, so this page. Yeah, so I just want to just give the overall picture for everyone to know that actually we have more than 500,000 people regularly cycling in Taiwan, especially for the north side of Taiwan. We have more than 2 million people cycling. Yeah, so with this large group of people cycling in Taiwan, but our cycling infrastructures is not that good to match the numbers of riders that we actually have. So you can just remember these numbers, and then most of them are under maybe 16 years old. Majority of the commuters are actually students, and then we put them in a dangerous environment without a safety cycling infrastructures for them to be safe to ride to school or back home. That's our problem, and we need to actually be progress and then improve these things for not just us, for not just us, maybe for our children, for the good environment. Okay, so I go into the next page.
Okay. Next page. Oops, sorry. You control. Yeah.
Actually, I probably cannot.
You cannot?
Oh, yeah.
So this next page, right?
Yeah. So we can see here we have like 10 millions of bicycle in Taiwan. Actually, each house have most of like 1.2 a bicycle. With this amount of the bicycles that we have in Taiwan, we definitely have to do something about it. Not just like still have like the car centric mindset in our transportation or in our transport systems. Yeah. And next page. Okay. Yeah. So we can see now here. So mainly our focus in like mainly the bicycle usage activities is like for commuting. It's under it's beyond over 12 years old, under 30. It's like more than 44% of the people are mainly commuting, and then for the personal activities and also for the creative for the leisure and exercise. So we have to definitely think about like to make the progress for this one. Yeah. So these three slides, I just want to share the numbers to everyone to get to understand or basic knowledge about like what we have in Taiwan. Yeah.
Okay. And if I can comment, so it is we from these numbers we can probably deduce that people who use the bicycle as a means of transportation, not just leisure, are people who cannot yet drive a car. They're too young to have a license to drive or to drive a moped. Let's call them mopeds. They said Jita. I think they're mopeds.
Jita.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There's two. Yeah.
So let's go one slide back. Okay. And here, so this one basically until 2023, when we have the latest data, cycling has been dropping. Okay, just quite obviously since 2000. I think it's 2009 until 2023. So Taiwanese 民国98到111，就基本上是很稳定的在跌。Okay, 5.6 is already quite a low percentage of people who ride bikes, but now it has dropped to 3.0, but 0.3 is in fact now the part which is contributed by electric, either pedal assist or electric bicycles. Now, many of them, most of them, in fact, are not really pedal assist. They do have pedals, but as soon as they have a throttle, they're basically used as electric mopeds. So and every single time I see kind of like any so-called e-bike with a throttle in Taiwan. Okay, I've been keeping my eyes out. Today I saw at least 3. Okay, if they have a throttle, they're not going to use the pedals. Okay, so that's it. So throttle means basically electric moped, not an e-bike. Okay, so and then we are going to talk about why the ridership is declining. And I would say the most important factor is that we don't feel safe, we don't feel comfortable when we're riding. If it's comfortable, if it's safe, if we feel it's safe, and if it's convenient to get a bike, convenient to park a bike, people would do that. And especially if it's more convenient than driving, and if it's more convenient than riding a moped. Unfortunately, in Taiwan, it is not like that. All right, I think we can move on.
So, oh, sorry to interrupt, Thanos. I'm reading the chat right now, and Mini, there's one username called Mini, and or she said, no, no, not, no enough space is just excuse. It's all because they refuse to touch any 1 centimeter by square root of two space of car lane.
And that is true. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I completely agree. Thank you, Minnie.
Right.
That I agree with you.
Um, I think it's called power of two, or it's not square root of two. Anyways, okay, and TP Chan, from Taipei American Professional Club, I presume. Walking is interesting, increasing. So, do you have any comments on what walking is obviously increasing, while cycling is decreasing? Would it be because
Yeah, I
walks or?
sorry, am I audible?
Hey, hi,
Hi.
TB.
Yeah, so it's just so the discussion up until now is framed as sort of cycling versus motor vehicles. And I feel it is more nuanced than that from the
Okay.
fact that walking is actually increasing.
Right.
It sort of like if you add cycling and walking together in this graph chart, actually, like the overall percentage of not using motor vehicles is increasing, not decreasing, suggesting Taiwanese are actually turning away from motor vehicles. But they are turning away from motor vehicles to walking instead of cycling.
Yeah, yeah. That is interesting, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so what? Now, can this is the thing? Okay, walking is good, absolutely. All right. Now, can we walk anywhere, anytime? Well, if it's close enough, walking is great. If you have to walk to work, let's say if it's 2 or 3 kilometers, it would be great to walk, but it will take some time. Now, by bike, it would take 10 minutes. Walking, it would take maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. Most people walk for about maybe 400 to 600 meters. Now, as soon as it gets more than that, they would take a U-bike. So in fact, it's true. Walking, if you see 民国98, so that's 2009, isn't it? In 2009, it was 12.3. Then it dropped. Now it's again higher. Altogether, yes, with bicycles and assisted bikes. Now, is that good? Definitely, walking is good. Is it enough? Unfortunately, not, because what is happening is, if people can walk, they will walk. This is good, but any longer distance, I don't think we like there. Most people would have time to just walk longer distances. Now, there has to be an alternative. Some people would take public transportation. Okay, but public transportation is not as convenient. It isn't really door to door. Cycling would be really door to door, and it should be convenient. It's also healthy. Public transportation in general is just it is motorized, and it still produces CO2 less than cars and motorbikes. That's for sure. But it isn't. It doesn't come with the health benefits. Now, it is good, yes, but if here we can only see non-motorized. Yeah, okay. But we don't see what the public transportation is in percentages, and then motorbikes plus then cars. So there's a larger picture there for sure. So yeah, it's an open-ended question, that's for sure.
And it might be the data might be skewed because of the health conscience reasons. As you know, in the recent decades, everyone's like, if you have parents in Taiwan, it's all about health, health, health. So exercising, people are raising awareness in health by walking. And also people have dogs and pets. More and more people have these pets to walk with. So it further incentivizes them to walk. And I don't know if this walking means from getting from point A to point B, but usually when I walk it, especially in Taipei, I would change it up with bus routes or MRT, and of course U-bike, as Thomas has mentioned. So all that factors combined, it might paint a better picture and provide, I think, a better analysis in which micromobility is increasing, is improving by using U-bike, and people are walking because they feel it's better for themselves. Yeah. So next slide.
Yeah, sure.
This one.
Does anyone want to introduce? Yeah.
Is that Tommy's? Or can we skip?
No.
All right. So it's not Thomas, so let's
Nope.
keep going. This one. That's question one, because
yeah.
Like I said, we sent out a list of questions to the Ministry of Transportation, and the summary is the feedback we got. The gist of it is they tried to kind of err on the side of giving us scripted replies or replies that are very general replies. So some questions they did not actually answer the questions. I think they just copy paste using a template. So it was a bit frustrating for us to understand what their stance is for some of the questions. So this is question one: design standards and exclusivity. So let me just read out the question that we sent to the Ministry of Transportation. According to latest regulations, bicycle-only lanes allow other vehicles to enter under certain conditions, similar to the challenges faced by slow lanes. Given the lack of physical separation and limited law enforcement, how will Ministry of Transportation ensure that bicycle-only lanes remain truly exclusive, preventing motor vehicles from encroaching on them? As we all know, yeah.
Yeah. So the answer, okay, I do have to say, okay, so it is obviously an answer from lower level official. So that's why, as Wilson said, he just falls back on copy pasting some regulations or possibly their own internal documents. In fact, I would have to say, so we asked around 14 questions. Almost none of the questions got a substantial answer. Most of them were just copy paste from some kind of regulation. So now, okay, so we asked, how will the Minister of Transportation ensure that bicycle-only lanes remain exclusive? The answer is, bicycle lanes are classified into two types: bicycle exclusive and shared with pedestrians. First one, bicycle exclusive lanes include bicycle-only lanes and dedicated bicycle roads. Bicycle pedestrian shared lanes include shared paths and shared roads. Each type of bicycle lane has a minimum width regulation. Setup of bicycle lanes can involve lane markings, physical separation, independent paths. Authorities should plan bicycle lanes based on road width and public usage needs. Okay, copy paste, nothing substantial. Now, okay, let's not change the slide yet. So now we're looking at the at three pictures, seemingly of three different types of bicycle lanes. Unfortunately, none of these are true bicycle lanes. Now, what is a true bicycle lane? What is an actual bicycle lane? A bicycle lane is, let's say, space in an urban environment where bicycles have either exclusivity or at least priority. Now, none of these actually has that, which seems strange because on the left we seem to have 专用车道. This is actually mislabeled. Now, this seems to be actually intentional. I'm not really sure. I would really love to hear officials explain why this is, for example, within the Taipei city government, the Department of Transportation and the Department of Tourism actually label the same kind of lanes differently. Okay, because I've seen videos where, like here, the left type is 专用车道. In fact, I checked with Taipei city government Department of Transportation officials last Friday. Is this an actual 专用道, 专用车道? Said yes, it's not. Okay, so they confirmed what I have been understanding from how the Department of Transportation actually says that. And on the next slide, let's not change yet, but we will see what a true 专用车道 looks like. The one on the left is what they call 自行车优先车道, 优先车道. This is not bicycle exclusive, and strangely enough, it's not even bicycle priority. Pedestrians have priority there. There are two lines marked on sidewalks. This is legally sidewalk, and pedestrians have priority. So this is not a bicycle lane. It is just a sidewalk where there has been marked space where bicycles are allowed but do not have priority. This is just a sidewalk. Okay, the one in the middle is just a road. All right, a cyclist will be just in the middle of motorized traffic. And on the right-hand side, this is a new phenomenon now with that dotted line. But in fact, it's just a sidewalk again. And then there is this, the dotted line just marks recommended space for pedestrians and recommended for bicycles. But in fact, again, like on the left, on the right, pedestrians have priority. That's it. Okay. Now, if somebody wants to comment on this, we can, or we can move on to the actual Minister of Transportation designs.
I'd like to just to emphasize or respond to towns with regards to a lowly government response. Actually, even if they're high level, they might just also give out a boilerplate template or response to the public. I'm not sure like your position in the government. If you're high level, you can say anything you want. So it's very hierarchical, definitely in the Ministry of Transportation, and they have to follow a certain guideline, as Tal has mentioned. It's just like if the press, the media ask them these questions, they have to respond in a very structured, neutral way. So it's not only applied to low level officials. I think even high level officials would give out the same response. So, all right. So question 2, let's move on to.
Not yet.
Oh, this one. Okay, this one.
Tommy, do you have anything to comment on the previous?
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah, it's basically just like you say. It's not like the actual bike lane should be designed. it just prioritize for优先车道. Yeah, that's not true. So we definitely have to can be improve it. And then now you share the photos. What is actually 自行车专用道?
专用车道.
So
so 车道 is lane, right? In fact, well, 专用道would be the same, which would be exclusive road, right? It's just that then that's the whole road, right? But the marking would be basically the same. Okay. Yeah. So what is happening is here is now this is actually from the Ministry of Transportation guidelines or so-called standards. Okay, so on the left we can actually see this is bicycle exclusive lane. Okay, and on the right it's what they call the bicycle priority lane. Now the one on the left is an actual bicycle lane. This, according to the regulations, is exclusively for bicycles. Now, how do we know that we're on a bicycle exclusive lane? We can see the lozenge or the diamond road marking, or then if there's a sign, if there's a traffic sign. Blue sign with a bicycle, then that means that this is a bicycle lane. Okay, so if it's a rectangular one, then there's a bicycle exclusive one. If it's round, it's basically probably shared, and in fact it's extremely rare. Now where do we see that? In Taipei, at least. In Taipei, at least, we can see this almost only on the riverside, in the riverside parks, on the riversides. There are a couple of small strips. So it's in Dazhi, in Neihu a little bit, okay, and then near Taida, basically Taida. Dormitories. Okay, we're going to have a look at that, but it's a tiny part of what Taipei City claims to have as bicycle infrastructure. Taipei City claims to have over 500 kilometers of bike paths, so-called, and they acknowledge that around 100 over 100 are on in the riverside parks. So around 400 they claim to have in the urban areas. Nevertheless, most of them are not actually bike lanes. So around 1%, around 1 to 2% are actually bike lanes. Okay. Now, if we look at the right-hand side, this is 自行车优先车道, which means that it's a so-called bicycle priority lane or priority bicycle lane. Now, these are almost exclusively drawn on sidewalks. Now, there's another strange thing. They end 2 meters before any intersections, and bicyclists are required to dismount. Now, anyway, whatever it is, they are not bicycle priority. Actually, in fact, as they're on sidewalks, pedestrians can legally encroach on them, and they are, in fact, they have priority. Okay. Now, when we look at the next slide, we can see how what they actually look in reality. All right. So this is what we have. We are hoping for progress. Actually, we're going backwards. So in 2024, on the left-hand side, we have a bicycle exclusive bicycle lane. This is an actual bicycle lane. We can see that there's the diamond marking. All right. On the right-hand side, this is what our current city government has done. So they have painted it red, which is actually good, and which should be the new standard color for bicycle lanes. but they have removed the lozenge or the diamond marking, which actually just means that now it is a sidewalk. So from bicycle exclusive lane, from bicycle lane, now they have changed it into a sidewalk. That's it. So, and this is in Dazhi on Bei'an Road. Okay, and maybe the next one.
Okay. Thanos, is it possible for us to interrupt and just like I'm reading through the chat and Roland Romano, Red Lobby Austria, presumably from Austria. He commented, "Well done for fact checking the type of cycling facility within the city." So thank you, Thanos. And Meanie also messaged, "The dedicated bike lane in picture is just a part of the sidewalk. There is no separation nor rights of way. There are only slow lanes in Taiwan City, and they are for speedy motorcycles." So Meanie made a comment on that. And the last one is from Mr. Shi. "I would like to ask which country Tano is from. Does the country Tano is from have 专用车道, exclusive lane, or are there's the same three types of lanes? Just curious." So everyone can read through the chat and maybe respond to Meanie and Mr. Shi's.
Okay. If I can quickly address each of them. Thank you so much, Roland. Okay. We're doing our best. For Meanie, okay. Yeah, well, okay. As you said, probably you were referring to the first slide with the question and answer, and the so-called dedicated bike lane is just a part of the sidewalk. So you are absolutely correct. Now, there are so-called slow vehicle lanes. Yes, we're going to touch on them. There are dedicated bike lanes, but they're very rare. We are going to have a look at them. So if you hold on a little bit, a bit later, we're going to have a look at them. So meaning you will see them. Although I agree, they're very, very hard to find. They're a rare species. Now, for Mr. or Mrs. Miss Xu, okay, I come from Estonia. Now, we do not draw. Well, okay, yes. Some of the bike lanes are drawn on sidewalks, and sometimes, yes, I mean, city officials do make mistakes, and they many of them are still from the past century, from the middle of the past century thinking, which means that they're still car-centric thinking. So yes, there are few countries which have actually really well-developed bike infrastructure. Okay, now in Estonia, basically, whenever there is a bike lane, it is bike exclusive. So no matter if it's drawn on the road or built as part of the road, or if it's drawn on the sidewalk, basically it's bicycle exclusive. Now, so which means that okay, if a pedestrian wants to cross it, they will have to look left and right, and if there's no bike coming, they can cross it, no problem. Okay, so that is not illegal, but bikes have priority. They're and pedestrians, if they keep walking along the bike lane, on the bike lane, they are actually violating regulations. The same with cars. If a car crosses a bike lane, they have to give priority to bikes. And now, if they drive along the bike lane, then they are in violation. So there is no confusion there. All right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. So on to the slide.
Sure. Okay. Is that the next one? Okay. So now let's have a look at what most of Taipei's so-called bicycle infrastructure look like. They are so-called 自行车 自行车人车共道, okay, which is basically bicycle pedestrian shared path. In fact, they're just sidewalks because, as you can see, if you look closely, it says 行人优先, which means pedestrians have right of way. They are just sidewalks. Okay, it is not bicycle infrastructure. In most countries that I know, including Estonia, bicycles are allowed to ride on sidewalks, and pedestrians have right of way if the cyclist decides that the road conditions on the road are somehow unsuitable for riding. So in that case, they can take the sidewalk, and of course, pedestrians have the right of way. So cyclists have to be mindful of pedestrians. Now, most of Taipei's so-called bicycle infrastructure is actually just this kind of sidewalks. All right, there we go. And of course, if you look at it, they're full of pedestrians because Taipei is quite a dense city. And on the left-hand side, many of these sidewalks are actually just not even proper sidewalks. They're used by motorbikes. They're used by cars to drive or to park. So and there is almost no enforcement whatsoever. All right. So my 10 cents here.
So here's a question for you, Thomas. If I were riding a bicycle on the sidewalk and a scooter comes along, which one has the right of way? Is it the cyclist or the scooter on the side?
You mean in Taiwan, and when
In
there
Taiwan.
is this
yeah, for
when
example,
it looks like this, 人车共道, you mean?
Right hand side, yeah. The 行人优先, that sign. I don't know, because a lot of scooters they ride on the sidewalks. And I
Yes,
don't
well,
know how to react to that. Because I'm also on the sidewalk cycling.
Sure. Scooters have no business to ride on sidewalks. They are not allowed on sidewalks at all. So if there is a sign like on these two pictures, then bicyclists are allowed on those sidewalks. All right. So in that case, yes, you have the right. But of course, a scooter is heavier. So it's basically the law of the jungle because the police never care. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I was hoping I could take a photo, record a video, and then maybe.
Yes, but even now that has been limited. What kind of violations can be reported by people by taking photos or videos? So in fact, it's not worth your time. I don't do that for a few years already because I found that for all the time and energy that I spend on trying to get this one specific scooter rider or a car driver to get fined, then a lot of times the police will find some problem. Let's say there's not enough data. The picture does not have a time print on the picture. They don't even accept EXIF data, right? They have to have a time print. So it's unbelievable. Now I've even heard that on the picture you need to have the actual address. So
all right. So
it's not worth your time. It's not worth your time. So the
cops in Taiwan, they're going against the evidence, right? They're trying to make it harder to want to enforce this.
It's not just
violation.
The cops. It's a long developed culture. Yeah. All right. So everyone is a part of it.
Okay. I just quick comments. I just quick comments of these two photos, and then we can move on to the next questions. So on the left side, they make the motorcycle parking space and then push the bike lane to the actual the the car lanes to the sidewalk. So which that's the issue that we're facing right now. So this is the problem that we can try to fix. So we should that's why we should have the actual exclusive bicycle lane to separate it from the pedestrian lanes and then from the normal car lanes. That's the picture on the left side we are trying to talk about. On the right side is like pedestrians, 行人优先 priority. Yes, you can ride a bicycle on this lane, but it's too crowded, it's too many people on there. And the pedestrians, yeah, they are the first right to, they have the priority right to use the land. But that's the problem also we have. If we can separate the bicycle lane from the pedestrian lane, maybe we don't have this kind of situations to frustrate people or make the pedestrians in danger if we are cycling on this lane. So this too is really common. You can see everywhere in Taipei or even outside of Taipei. So yeah, thanks Thanos to share these photos to us and then to let everyone to know that the problems we can try to fix. Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Thanks.
Cool. So
right, so next. All right, so question 2. We're on question 2. How's the time?
I think we should move on a little bit faster.
Yeah, we're
a bit
well
faster, yes.
past,
All right, let's go ahead.
past like 40 minutes. So question 2, law enforcement and practical application. Thomas, do you just want to give a quick comment to this?
From
As
my side?
well, yeah. We want to make
sure.
Yeah.
So the point is, okay, so the essence of the question is, how would the Ministry of Transportation deal with basically cars and motor vehicles encroaching in bicycle exclusive lanes if they cannot enforce any other traffic regulations? All right, so would it be a good idea to, for example, add physical separation, because there are some actual bicycle lanes, but there's no physical separation. So of course, cars, motorbikes, trucks encroach on them. Okay, the answer basically is, well, he basically quotes from the regulations, says, well, motor vehicles cannot use those lanes, but they can use them for starting, turning, temporary parking, and so on. So basically, again, copy and paste. Okay, if accidents occur to parking or turning, adjustments should be made to bicycle lane designs. Copy and paste. Sorry, nothing substantial. Can we have a look at the actual situation, what it looks like? Next slide. Okay, so these, okay, may I introduce to people in Taiwan, these are actual bike lanes, true bicycle lanes in Taipei City. They're extremely rare. You can go to near Keelung Road, opposite Taida, and you can see them, Changxinjie and Fanglanlu. Okay, but there is no physical separation. So nothing. There is no protection of the bicyclists on those lanes. Now, these are lanes which are quite close to what we can see in many Western countries. And the same, Western countries also have the same problems. Cars encroach on them. Now, of course, in Taiwan, we also have mopeds that actually drive on them. Now, in Taiwan, also police themselves drive and park on those exclusive bicycle lanes. Now, and as you can see, if you can see, these are, you can see probably the lozenge or the diamond marking. So these are actual bicycle exclusive lanes. These are true bike lanes. Yeah. All right.
Okay. There's a quick chat comment. Meanie said a quick solution is using parking space to separate car lane and from bike lanes. So maybe in the middle, have a parking space. Like I've seen this in Melbourne, Australia. And in the middle of the road, and there's a bike lane on the right, and then on the left hand side, there's the normal car roads. But in the middle, it'll be like parking for cars. Yeah.
Yep. It's a good way. As long as officials want to do that, they can. Most of the time, this does not happen. So lanes like this, these are probably around 1 to 2% of the so-called Taipei's bicycle infrastructure. All right.
All right. Question 3: integration in intersection safety. We combine question 5 and 3 together in interest of time. User behavior and regulation compliance. So this is about safety and compliance.
So this is the really funny one. Okay, this is actually this design has been used in Taipei for over 10 years. Well, at least I have not found a reason why this design has come into existence. But now it's also in the Ministry of Transportation bike lane standards. So so-called bicycle priority lane has to stop 2 meters before and after intersections. And they're almost exclusively on sidewalks. So you have this so-called bicycle priority lane. Then it stops. Then there's a few meters until the actual road or the intersection. Then on the intersection, there may or may not be a bicycle crossing space or crossing lane. Then it stops again, and then maybe a few meters later, if you're lucky, then another bicycle priority lane starts. Now, according to Taiwanese regulations, and often quoted by the Department of Transportation, a cyclist, every single time this priority lane stops before an intersection, you have to dismount. You have to dismount, push your bike either across the street or to the street where you have this bicycle crossing, cross the street on your bike, dismount again, push it to where the bicycle priority lane starts, and then mount and keep riding. This makes zero sense. I tried to ride, and I counted how many times from Zhongshan North Road on Zhongxia East Road, East Road from the Zhongshan North Road until Sogo, basically. You have to mount and dismount 28 times. So dismount 28 times, mount 28 times, altogether 56 times. All right. This is unbelievable. Now, why this regulation exists, nobody knows, but nobody cares because it does not make sense at all. I have seen no people actually following this regulation. Now, including the 2 consecutive mayors themselves. Okay, Jiang Wan, Mayor Jiang is already famous for his video, but actually the guy before him, who is now in jail or something like this,
Could be
under investigation, right? He actually did the same thing. Both of them, they're not idiots. They're not at least intentionally trying to break the law. They were just trying to do the logical thing. All right, we will have a look at that. But anyway, so this is unbelievable. I do not know how this design could work. Okay, any comments? We will have a look at what it looks like.
My personal anecdotal experience is like 15 years ago, Zhongxiao Donghua in the East District of Taipei, on the road of the car road, they had beside the sidewalk painted a cycling lane, And then after they painted this and spent so much money on this, the pickup trucks, other cars started to block the lane. So they had to erase the paint on the road, the car road pavement, and then move it onto the sidewalks. So why do this? Why even thought of implementing a cycling lane, a painted cycling lane on the car road when you know or could have predicted that cars will just park by the curb and block cycling traffic. So there's some design flaw
Yeah,
in what the way government is thinking. So this kind
yeah,
of applies to the intersection issue where people have to dismount. So they don't have put the plan or design. I don't think they even test it. They just like have this budget and they don't know where to spend it. Maybe spend on this and then don't have the overall higher picture of how inconvenient it is. But I have to give them this river cycling path is superb. It's great. It's continuous. You can do a small Taipei loop or even a big Taipei loop using the Riverside Park lane. But for the streets, the city, it's not that good. Yeah, in terms of experience. Yeah. Oh, TP Chang has asked in chat, are you going to mention the bus stop state situation? Bus stop. So also bus is very scary. Yeah, as a cyclist.
No, I
Yeah.
was going to say the bus that you there's a similar situation around bus stops. You need to get off and push your bike across the bus stop before you
yeah.
can mount again.
Really? Oh, that's scary.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, in fact, again, now what would make sense, especially in places which are there. Actually, today I passed several where you have a wide sidewalk. Okay, you should have a floating bus stop, which means that you have the bus stop next to the road where the bus actually stops, and then the bike lane when it approaches the bus stop goes from behind the bus stop and then just kind of like turns back to the side of the road. Now this is used exactly in two places as far as I know in Taipei City. Most others, almost every other the bus stop where you have a bike lane, the bike lane just is cut. And again, supposedly a cyclist dismounts. No cyclists dismount. They just go around it whichever way they can, or they just go through the bus stop, which is even worse, thanks to the incomplete design.
Okay. Let's move on. Does anyone want to talk
Okay.
about that?
Yeah, well, this is my slide, right? So this is actually what it looks like in reality. So as you can see, I'm on the bike lane, which again, has no buffer zone with the road. So any car that stops and opens the door will basically door the cyclist who is legally on the bike lane. Okay, now, but the intersection itself, if you look, you can see three other bike lanes that continue to the right, to the far forward, and to the far left. Okay, but they're very hard to see because people are standing. They're just waiting for their green light. Now, how is a cyclist supposed to keep cycling? They are not. You're required to dismount. Why this design exists, I seriously have no idea. But this is what basically happens at every intersection. You get to an intersection, then you're supposed to dismount, get to the whichever direction you want to go, then cross the intersection, right? Okay, then get off the bike again, then look where you are going, okay, push your bike there and then continue. So in fact, instead of just basically, if you have a continuous bike lane, you could just cross the intersection. You will be crossing two intersections by dismounting. All right. So I really do not know how this design has come into being. All right. So, but this is how it looks like, and do not worry. This is it's not a rarity. It's not something extraordinary. This is the standard. This is the standard in Taiwan. All right.
Sure.
Okay. So now, what is happening? So, sorry, I did this presentation in Chinese. So what I'm basically saying is that because the designs and the regulations don't make sense, users will just ignore the designs and ignore the regulations. So could you click again?
Sure.
All right. And here is our current mayor, Mayor Jiang. And this is a screenshot from his video, his promotional video, where he promoted No Car Day. And in fact, he is violating violating traffic regulations in his own city without knowing this. He's not an idiot. Sorry, he's just a normal guy who is trying to do the logical thing, and it is logical not to go to the road because the road feels unsafe, and it actually is unsafe. So he rides on a sidewalk, and at this moment he's on a pedestrian crossing. Now, it would make sense to kind of ride there because, well, you don't have cars and motorbikes. Well, at least not that many there, right? And he probably had heard that you can ride there, whereas actually, according to his own city regulations, you cannot. But he's just a normal guy. Okay, and then could you click once again?
Mayor P.
Mayor Jiang actually got into hot water because of this, because people said, well, hey, you're violating traffic rules, basically. He did not know this. But his predecessor, Mayor Ke, did exactly the same thing. As you can see, his rear wheel is on a so-called bicycle priority lane, which is legal, but his front wheel is already outside the bicycle priority lane. He's riding on sidewalk, and this is illegal. So in fact, he also violated the same rules. All right, well, but as nobody paid attention, he could get away with this. Probably this photo is still up on his Facebook page. Now, what I'm trying to say is, okay, and you can see the police, probably police lady next to him, right? The point is, it's not that these two mayors are intentionally trying to somehow push cycling on pedestrians or try to do something illegal. They're just trying to do the logical thing. It's just that the designs of their own city department of transportation bicycle lanes are illogical. That's it.
Right.
Tommy, you have comments?
I think this just, like you say, there's nothing really they care about the regulations of these things because this just doesn't make any sense.
They don't make sense. Yeah.
All right.
But,
so it's not okay.
Yeah, we cannot do anything. Yeah, because they have to follow some regulations to do these things. But if we have the actual bike lane, maybe we can fix this problem. And then
Mm-hmm. All right. Maybe I'll introduce question 4 quickly. So bicycle and pedestrian conflicts. Of course, as motorized traffic seems to be kind of like untouchable. So, of course, they press pedestrians and bicycles together. So I was just asking, how does the Ministry of Transportation justify this design? Okay. And are there plans to prioritize dedicated road space for bicycles instead of compressing pedestrian areas? then he just does a copy and paste from like standard design regulations. Yeah, slow vehicles, which means basically bicycles, should follow designated lines and lane markings. If no markings exist, they should keep to the right within slow lanes or near the roadside if no slow lanes are marked. One-way streets, they should use leftmost or rightmost lane. They should not enter fast lanes or sidewalks. They should not cross roads in prohibited areas. Bicycles are not allowed on sidewalks unless they meet the minimum width and safety requirements for pedestrian coexistence. Okay, whatever that means. Basically copy and paste from the standard designs, not helpful at all. Now, as we know, if we take the next slide, we will just see what it actually looks like in reality. It looks like this. This is in Zhongshan Station, basically. Lots of people, most people are even completely unaware that there's a bike lane there at all. As you can see, there is a bike lane. The bicyclist is actually not able to enter the bike lane because there are just so many people. Now, I ride every day and all the time. If I'm on a lane like this, on the sidewalk, there is always a pedestrian just wandering there. They're not somehow malignant. They're just unaware. Okay, so of course, and this is the result of the same design. All right.
Okay. All right, so is this my slide?
I think it's yours.
All right, so the one on the right hand side is my slide. And I just want to say thank you, Mini, from the chat. He posted an image of the bus stop. So as you can see, it's kind of very dangerous and confusing if you're a cyclist and you have to dismount, but a bus stop is obstructing your way. So anyways, yeah, I was at the DMV getting my driver's license renewed, and there's supposedly a bicycle parking stand, and there's just even a sign in Chinese saying that only cycling bicycle is allowed to park here. And they paid and installed and made this bike rack, but you can see a big blue scooter blocking the way as a cyclist. As you can see, this is a problem that stems from lack of driver testing, a good stringent driver testing, and lack of, I would say, just enforcement. Yeah.
Lack of enforcement, absolutely. This is lack of enforcement. So as with many other laws, though, enforcement is usually non-existent until someone complains, and then they will actually do something. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope maybe I'm jumping too quickly, but the agenda of this webinar for me is just to get raise more attention, because I know Taiwanese people can change in terms of their driving behaviors. As you can see, CNN, the article came out, cars started to give way to pedestrians. It's an overnight thing. People changed on the bat immediately because of the CNN
well,
article.
Wilson, I know, yeah, for you maybe it was immediately, but in fact there were pedestrian rights activists behind this. So first there was this guy, pedestrian hell guy, right, who gave an interview to CNN and so on. But then there was a whole movement behind it afterwards, until the officials had to feel ashamed. Okay, and then they had to be pushed to do something, and then regulations came out, and higher fines for cars which would not, for example, stop for pedestrians and so on. And only then the change came. And also I think you're mostly in Taipei because outside Taipei things are a bit different. All right, but still, you are right. People can change, but again, there has
Not
to be
overnight.
enforcement.
Okay.
There has to be enforcement. If people
Right.
feel that there is no point, okay, they will not do it because what people will do is what is convenient. That's it. That's it. And if they don't feel there's any consequence in them, they know exactly what they should do, but they will not do it if there is no push for them. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
I agree. I agree. Okay. So let's
Parking.
move on to question 6, private bicycle parking facilities. Do you want to take a stab on this, or do you want me to?
Well, you can. Tommy, what do you think of this? Basically, what I'm saying is what at least Taipei has, whenever they actually do give any parking space, which often there is nothing actually there. Okay, but so there's space for cars, there's parking space for motorcycles, there's also space for U-bikes, but nothing. Often there's zero for private bikes. Now, if there is anything, it's just usually one car parking space without any facilities. So you cannot lock anything there. And if you lock it to something something close there, people will complain. All right. So anyway, private bicycle parking facility is almost completely ignored. Now, Tommy, do you want to say anything about this, or we can actually have a look what it looks like?
Yeah. So actually,
next slide.
Like some New York City or London, they have like a lot of like bike parking box.
Mm-hmm.
I can show some photos later to share with you guys. So actually, they makes like the car park into a cycling parking box.
Mm-hmm.
You can secure your bike inside the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it covers, protect your bikes. You have to use your fingerprints or password to enter or to open the box to take out your bikes or to park your bike. That's a way, and also makes the city more interesting. Like you can decorate the bike parking box or whatever. That's a problem. That's the things we can think about. A lot of like the car-centric cities, we so-called car-centric cities are doing this, and why not we can't? So actually we can find a lot of cities are actually doing it in a good way, and then we can not just say copy, but we can also do it our way, because our traffic is really difficult. We have a lot of moped, cars, pedestrians, bicycle. We are really difficult, but it's more like if the government have the mindset that they are really want to make these things done, make better. That's the issue. If we don't have this mindset, everyone just push to each other. That's not my duties. That's not my responsibility. We ask the other department to solve this problem. That's not a good mindset. So that's why we are here to discuss. And then so that's my comments.
Okay, cool. Yes. By the way, if we're looking at these two pictures, let's take the one on the right. So as you can see, this is standard Taipei city. This probably started to become more ubiquitous from Mayor Ke's time. So for the past basically 10 years, just empty one space, just keep one car space for bicycles. You guys as bike riders, you tell me why there is no bikes here.
You're afraid of getting ran over by cars.
Ran over by cars, or just
no, because if you
away.
park your bikes there, it will just get taken. Like I can just take it blocks.
Yeah, and then that's it. Okay, so that's on the right. But at the same time, so it's car centric thinking. Okay, because if you have space, you can park your car, and if you lock your car, it's not going anywhere, right? Okay, motorbike is more or less the same. Okay, bicycle is not. Well, okay, the better your bike is, the lighter it is. People walk away with it if you don't lock it to something. So the thinking has to be different. Now, on the left hand side, okay, interesting that Tommy, you mentioned the boxes, right? Okay,
Yeah.
let me tell you, we have these boxes in Taipei. Have you ever heard?
Actually, no, I haven't seen one.
Okay, now let me tell you about them. Okay, the legend goes, no, it's actually true. Okay, if you look at the on the left, okay, this is on Ruiguang Road. There's this kind of like district. It's not the district government building, but it's kind of like a basically most of the space in that building is actually the car park, several stories car park. Now, you can also park your motorbikes there. All the motorbikes that you can see outside there are parked on sidewalk illegally, while the police office entrance is 20 meters from there. Police officers enter and exit from there, from their office, and they can see this. Nothing is done about this. But can you see where the bicycle parking is? Okay,
It's like finding the logo. Where is it?
Oh, if you can read it, so you have to push your bike through these motorbikes, basically into the building. Take the passenger lift, which is actually really, 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 really small. It's kind of like enough for 4 people or something like that. So if you have a little bit larger bike, you actually have to kind of like push it upwards. Okay, take it to the 2nd floor, and there you have a completely empty space for bicycles, including, by the way, the boxes. Now, you can do that. I have never, though, seen anyone doing this, but it's there. Okay, now, it was there at least about 2 years ago, but the situation is like this is still there. Okay, so
I don't think it's even on Google Map. If you type the keyword bicycle parking or then
no, probably not.
You can't find it.
But whenever you have a nice
like
free day, go ahead, check it out. It's
finding like finding like a unicorn. But thank you so much.
Right.
This is my shameless plug. I'm the co-founder of a Storage for Sports. We sell bicycle parking stands. So let me go back and kind of add on what you guys have talked about, complaining the parking issues. I went to Canada, and the good thing about Canada is every commercial building, every condo, every like a place to go to has a mandatory biking rack installed in front of your door or outside. So as you can see, different places, different venues, hotels, from apartments, from tourist destinations, they are required to install bicycle racks in front of their buildings. So this is the case in Canada. You don't see this in Taiwan. There's no requirement. So as a commuter, where am I going to park? Well, I can only take it up to the apartment. Take the lift and take it up the apartment. And that means I have to buy an indoor bike stand. So anyways, for parking, there's a solution. You can actually integrate car parking to your bicycle. So as you can see, it's a very easy and cheap way of setting up a bicycle rack just inside a car parking lot. I don't see this in Taiwan. I don't see any bicycle racks in any parkings, even if it's a public government funded parking or like a public parking place. And on the right-hand side, you can see the photo. I took a photo in Canada. If you're afraid of getting your bike stolen, there's a shed, like what Tommy has mentioned. There's a lock. You can actually safely store bicycle. And you can store it vertically to save space, or there's a two-tier system where you can see it in Japan, that you can stack bicycles up if there's no space for a lot of bicycles. Then you can stack them up to eventually find space for your bicycles. Anyways, all right.
Cool.
So
Thanks for the plug. We need you. All right.
no worries,
So,
no worries. All right, let's quickly go all the way to environmental traffic impact of shared bikes. So there's the sustainability part of
okay.
cycling.
So this is the interesting thing, actually. In fact, it's not only U-bike. Most basically shared bikes. Okay, bike shares are great. They're making things easier, more convenient. But it seems that in Taiwan, they're prioritized over private bikes, and maybe even just kind of like they're the only thing that the government thinks we need. Okay, now one of these things about bike share is that actually shared bikes have much higher CO2 footprint than private bikes. Much of it comes from all kinds of the administration things, but also, for example, maintenance. For example, let's say in Taiwan, U-bike has diesel trucks. And do you know that even if it's not the pedal assist, even if it's just manpower, the ordinary bike, they all need to be charged, and they are not charged at the so-called the stations, right? They're actually taken in to the company, to the U-bike company, and they're charged there. And all of this is done by diesel trucks. All these diesel trucks actually are, well, of course, they have their own CO2 footprint, but also the space. They often just illegally park just right next to the U-bike station, and they block the slow lane, which means that actual like bicycle road users, they have to go into the inner lanes, to the fast lanes, which creates danger. By the way, I was almost run over, and then I was basically harassed by a Porsche driver. You know why? Because of a U-bike truck. The U-bike truck was parked in the slow lane, so I indicated I need to go to the inner lane. A Porsche came from behind, and of course, I don't think they have brakes at all. You know, they cannot slow down. So of course it started honking at me, and then it started to push me out of the bloody road. And this is a true story. I have video, I have photos if necessary. But the main point is, U-bike. I like U-bike as the bike share, but I don't like how they run the let's say the backup management, how U-bikes are collected. It's just diesel trucks parked illegally almost every single time, where actually cyclists should belong.
Yeah, they're a monopoly. Like they're
Yep.
the only player in the whole island.
No,
were
there are a few more.
Yeah.
There are a few more, actually.
Okay, but obviously this youth bike will be the surviving. Maybe, yeah, there will be new entrants in the industry, hopefully, but definitely the government is still banking on U-bike and giving them support. Okay,
Right, of
so
course. Yeah. So
just want to apologize to
Mhm.
everyone. We're well past 9 o'clock. The original webinar is just only 1 hour. So if you guys can listen through, or you have anything else going on in your life, that's fine. We're just gonna trek through all the questions tonight. Hopefully, Towns, Tommy, you'll be able to stay awake. All right, so question 9, rebalancing urban space. So this is, I think, more of a design, city planning issue as well.
Yeah. So essentially, basically, what we have talked about, officials, whenever they think they have to give something to cyclists, they will put cyclists together with pedestrians on sidewalks. Okay, so what we can see is this thing happening even in the very latest, like a couple of months ago, they finished this Zhongxia East Road Section 3 northern side, and we can have a look at the next slide. So what has happened is they call it pedestrian space, something like improvement or something like that. In fact, what has happened is there used to be 4 lanes for motorized traffic plus the sidewalk. Then what they did was, and the outer lane was basically just for illegal parking. They were parking, they were stopping there, whatever. So now what they just did was the outer lane, they just changed to legal parking. And that's it. And cyclists are still pushed together with the pedestrians. And that's it. So this is the latest. This is the latest project. Now, we can see clearly how the city government actually treats, active travel, cyclists and pedestrians.
Okay. Market competition and inclusivity. So expansion of U-bike services. Like I mentioned, they're a monopoly, almost a monopoly now. There used to be a different company in Thailand. Now they're all taken over by.
There's Movo, and then I've heard there's something else. Okay, so the answer is interesting. It says Taichung's public bike system is intended to replace private vehicle usage. In Chinese, it actually says 私人运具如汽机车辆的使用率. So kind of like for example, moped and car usage. Well, it has not, of course. And what else he's saying, he or she, the city government conducts open bidding for operators, welcoming various companies to participate. Future collaborations with operators remain open for discussion. The main point is not, okay, so let's say from the business point of view, let's say U-bike has monopoly, but not exactly. There are some others. But what my question was is that okay, one is stifling local bicycle manufacturers, other bicycle manufacturers who would produce private bikes for everyone to use. Okay, so a U-bike, it doesn't matter how well they design it, or any shared bike is still not good enough for all kinds of users, including children. Okay, they cannot, or much taller individuals. Well, I'm not that tall, but for me, it's a little small. Okay, people with disabilities, they would need trikes, or those carrying children or cargo. Okay, what will they do? So all of them actually need private bicycles. What he's just saying is from the business point of view, but I'm mainly not only talking about business also, but also the user, the different kinds of users. There are many different kinds of users that are not able to use U-bike. That's it.
Okay. Do you think we want to go over the chat? Because Roland and other people have messaged more stuff.
Why not?
Roland talked about bicycle parking. So there's an example in Europe where they improve their bicycle parking. TP Chang offered a map or PDF where you can find all the racks in Taipei. Pretty cool data. And Roland asked, is this data available as a GEOS data set? Okay, so they're talking amongst themselves. But thank you, TP Chan, for the link. I will copy and paste it and save it to my notes. So TP Chan has all
this is cool.
OpenStreetMap for parking. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much.
Yes, and Roland says ECF, like Europe made the new regulation in April. Actually, many countries had their own separate regulations already before that, but now the European Commission, I think they enacted new law basically. So it is compulsory for buildings to have bicycle parking. Yes, but you know, we're in Taiwan. We're upside down. Sorry, at this moment yet. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All
So
right.
now, so this is what it looks like. So on the left, you can see there is no place. Okay, there is no facility to lock your bikes in. So this is next to an MRT station. Inside the MRT station, there is usually some bicycle parking, which is really actually usually that is done really well. But then that is usually also full, and then there are more people who come to the MRT station for the first mile, for the last mile on a bike, and then there's that's what the bike parking looks like. The bikes are all basically just falling over themselves because there's nowhere to lean them, or there's nowhere
Yeah.
to lock them. Now, there's also, as you can see, 脚踏车勿锁刺, which means do not lock your bike here. They tell you not to lock your bike. So basically, there's kind of a railing. I don't even know why that railing is there, but some people lock their bikes there. Now, recently, this sign appeared saying that you are not allowed to lock your bike there. Anyway, on the right hand side, we can see this is next to Guanghua Sangcang. So basically a large. Those who don't know, it's kind of like an electronics shopping center. All right, anything connected with computers, electronics, stuff like that. Okay, there is zero private bicycle parking. There is for U-bikes, there is for motorbikes, there is for cars. There's a huge underground parking lot for cars and motorbikes. There is zero for private bicycles. That's it. So as you can see, someone has just locked it to a random post, and this is all you can do now. Again, the city government thinking probably is, well, you're allowed to park wherever mopeds are parked, but that's not how bicycle parking works. They don't really realize this, or they don't want to realize this. Bicycles can basically be carried away. That's it. And if you have a little better bike, you're not going to do this. And then that's it. So that's why we have low ridership. That's one of the reasons. Okay, only those on really, really crappy bikes can park their bikes.
Yeah, I actually went to anecdotal experience. I actually went to the parking division of Ministry of Transportation trying to sell my bike parking stand, and I made a fancy pamphlet, and they just don't care because nowadays with the fat tires and the e-bikes, the size of the wheels are different. So
Yeah.
the traditional bike racks they have are not big enough. So people just like chain it outside of the rack. So they don't actually put the wheels inside the slot anymore. So why not upgrade the racks? It's not expensive. And to the point of 脚踏车闭锁, you have to unlock it. My business mind is going off. Maybe why not just have a paid private bicycle parking? Just charge people per bike on an hourly basis for fancy bikes, just like Tommy's great looking sexy bike, right?
Oh,
So I
absolutely.
just like, yeah,
Yeah.
just have a business, profitable small business to incentivize you to improve their infrastructure. Anyways, yeah.
Okay. So TP says, as far as he remembers, bicycles are not legally allowed to park in moped parking slots. Well, only if these are fee-paying parking slots. Okay, if they are free, then now now bicycles are allowed to park in motorbike parking spaces. Okay, if the parking there is free, if it's kind of like a whatever they call it. Basically, if they charge, then bicycles are not allowed there. Yes. So there are two different types. Okay,
All right.
we're
So
getting
question.
actually. we're getting actually to the end, right? Interestingly,
Yes.
because although we had 14 questions, he only answered 10, or well, less than 10, really.
Yeah.
Right? Because this seems to be almost the last one, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Balancing incentives and regulations.
Yeah. Well, basically, well, if you ask any advanced bicycle culture city or country official, they will tell you you need carrots as well as sticks. In Taiwan, they only try to use carrots, basically. All right, so they do not try to reduce car usage. They just somehow, in their own interesting, funny, little naive way, try to promote cycling, but not reduce car usage. So I'm asking kind of like, what concrete actions will the Minister of Transportation take to decrease urban dependence on cars? He says consultation with the parking management department is required regarding parking supply strategies. Well, okay. Anyway,
But that's a
non-answer.
really, yeah. When
Yeah.
I was working in a Taiwanese company, it's like they like to pass blame onto other people. So I think
Right.
they're just like, yeah, it's not my problem. I'm not taking accountability. So you should talk to someone else. Yeah, that
Right.
kind of.
Right. 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 All right.
Right.
Shall we move on?
Are we going past too fast?
Yay. Oh, okay. The next one. So these four last questions, basically, he just did not answer, which is really interesting because he's a Minister of Transportation official, or this person, right? But he says those questions fall under the Minister of Transportation's jurisdiction and require further consultation with the minister. These are basically about regulations or laws, okay, concerning how cyclists can ride. For example, what kind of overtaking distance should cars leave? If bicycles should position themselves on the right-hand side or in the middle? Can they ride side by side? Stuff like that. And the last question is about basically long-term vision. What is the long-term vision for Ministry of Transportation about cycling and cycling policies? He just says, well, the ministry has to decide, basically. All right. Now, Tommy, what do you think?
No, just like I mentioned before, like if we don't have the money, you just push to each other, just so yeah, actually I have some slides we'd like to share with you.
Cool.
Yeah, so if you are
Stop share.
Yeah, and then I just quick share, and then we can have a look about like, because I've been to New York in past few years, and there wasn't a bike then before, and you barely can ride a bicycle there. But since 2024, after pandemic, like actually New York is very like car-centric city. America does, and even though like Trump's oppositions like try to get a bike lane away, but New York City still want to expand their bike lane, and so let's have a look like some like interesting things. The Canadian cyclist magazines, they share this, and I will share the links to you guys later.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the things that we maybe Tao knows was. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so yeah, so we mentioned about like we have like on the left side of picture. This is actually shoot from in New York City, Queens. Like a Dutch people who went to the cycling, and then they took some photos. So there's some protection site work and the actual bike lane, and then the parking slot next to them. back then, which is actually designed really good in the middle of the people. Seems like works pretty well as well. You park the cars in the middle of the road. I'm not sure if we can do that in Taiwan, but if we really want to make the city better place to live, or to not just to a car centric mindset, we are not trying to say, oh, we have to remove all the car, remove all the moped. We actually try to be friendly to all different transportations, including cars, including moped, including pedestrians, cyclists. This is the way we wanted to. I think this is, at least is my vision. To be thinking 10 years later, 20 years later, we can be these things. But if we are not doing this right now, we will never get to that step. So a lot of great cities start doing this, and then they actually be doing this and process all the like the regulations versus everything. But they really want to make the cities better for their for the future generation. And then we can have these pictures too. If we can have imagine if we live in this kind of city in Taipei. Actually, Taipei is really good city to cycle. It's pretty flat. You can easily go anywhere. And then beside the summer weather, it's very hot. But for sure, if we can make the infrastructures easy way, usable way to all of the people's, definitely we can create more space for us to live. Also, for everyone to use. So these are some photos that actually I'm not sure. I think probably our administrations of the transportation, they already know this thing. Probably they are still like trying to figure a way out to do these things. I hope so. But a lot of the cities start doing this, and I would like to share like this only like 3 minutes videos. I would like to share with you, and we can watch together. A Dutch went to New York, and the Dutch perspective of cycling in New York. We can have a look this one together. Also, only 3 minutes, and you actually have a really good insight of this. And then have a look. Can everyone hear the?
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything, right?
Cannot. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So I will share this thing to the links to you guys. Yeah, you can just watch for yourself.
I could hear.
You could hear. Oh, you could hear. Oh, interesting. Can other people hear, or only Nelson's can't hear? Cannot hear.
PP Chan, do you have can you hear, or do you have any questions? PP Chan.
Oh, I can. I can.
Oh, you can. Okay.
All right, so it's just me, I guess. I
Well,
don't
you
know what's
can
going
probably
on.
just turn on the closed caption so that we can see.
Okay. So actually, we can like I want to share these videos to you guys. It's like you can see there's still a lot of problems in New York as well. They are not still on the way to make the cycle friendly city, but at least they are like progressing doing this. And then there's a lot of good way and bad ways for sure, and still frustrating some in our, some areas. But imagine like this, they are trying to do this, and I can picture Taipei or Taiwan one day can become like more like truly friendly city as well. Like yeah, yeah, this is our vision, and then that's why we are here together to discuss these things about for over 2 hours, and then yeah. So if you guys can share this mindset to anyone, or yeah, we are we can definitely get it better. And one thing I would like to talk about is like tunnels actually host a critical mass in Taipei every last Friday of the month, right? At
Mhm.
night at 7 o'clock. So if you like to, if you guys are living in Taipei, want to meet up, townhouse or me, because if I have time, I will be part of the critical mass as well. We can discuss more about that, and then like everyone would like to share their comments, and then recycling, and we share some like good knowledge about that, and hopefully I can provide. If you don't have the e-bikes, you don't have bike, you can come over to our shops to just get the free bike, and then we can ride together. Let's yeah, we can do that together. And then more people are cycling, the more awareness of the car or other peoples will notice these things. Yeah, the better we can go. Yeah.
Cool,
So
Tommy.
that's my comments. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, and by the way, like Tommy said, we meet every Friday. We call every last Friday of the month. Now, it is called critical mass, but usually what we call critical mass is a lot of people, and there's a group, so cars actually take you into consideration. Taipei's critical mass looks more like a club. So we get together, we ride together, but then we stop and talk about different, maybe, well, let's say situations, designs, regulations, problems, and then we just end up somewhere and have a coffee or have a beer together. And
Yeah.
of course, we are not going to ride drunk, all right? Because last week there was a Taipei councillor who brought up that, oh, there are drunk cyclists, and then the department, transportation department, had to say that yes, we're going to deal with that. Now, of course, we're not going to cycle drunk. But yes, come every Friday, every last Friday of the month we gather. You can find the information on my Facebook page, Taipei
Yeah.
Bicycle Commuter. Yeah, okay. But if you have time, in front of Taipei City Hall, 7 o'clock, 7:30, we gather, we chat a little bit, and then we just head out. And Tommy, like you just said, if somebody wants to try out a really nice pedal assist bike, they look really, really nice. Okay, and I tried it. It's really nice. So anyway, you're welcome to join.
And it was a blast. Sorry, I had to leave earlier, but it was a completely different experience. Having a group ride through Taipei streets, it's going to be very interesting. So please join the critical mass. Definitely, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that,
One more
with
thing.
that, yeah, go ahead.
One more thing. There's going to be I think it's organized by an organization called something like a Green Citizen Alliance or something like that. There's a movie festival, film festival, and there's going to be a showing of a cycling documentary twice, and one of them will be at the end of April. The other one is going to be on the 4th of May. And I'm going to actually give some comments after the show. And the showing is all free, so everyone is welcome. When I get more information, I will also put it up on the Facebook Taipei Bicycle Commuter page. So, but everyone is welcome to go there. The showings are free, and it should be quite cool, actually. So if you're interested, I think one showing is on a Saturday, and another one is on the 4th of May, which should be a Sunday evening or something like this. So anyway, keep an eye on our pages.
Right. Before we wrap it up, I just want to give a special thanks to Cindy. A huge shout out to Cindy. Thank you for getting the appointment and getting the replies from the Ministry of Transportation. It requires a lot of gut, patience, and persistence. And Cindy definitely has the clout, the influence, and the background to make things happen. So thank you, Cindy.
Cool.
And thank you. That's a wrap, guys. Tommy, do you want to say where we can reach you?
Almost. Actually, because the questions, the communication with the Minister of Transportation is not finished yet. At the end of February, I had a chance to attend a meeting that was organized by one of the lawmakers, who is really great. She's, I have to say, one of the few politicians who actually seems to care about people. She, at least once a year, she organizes a meeting between Minister of Transportation officials, including the minister himself, and then some civic organizations. And this time I was able to hand over another version of these 14 questions. In fact, 16 questions. I modified them a little bit directly to the Minister of Transportation, who promised to give an answer. Now, more than a month has passed, and I still keep in contact, and the lawmaker's assistant keeps pushing the ministry. But anyway, whenever we have some information, we will keep everyone updated. So we will keep fighting.
Yes. So any updates, check out Tano's Facebook. And Tommy, do you want to tell us how we can reach you? Or
actually, you guys can reach me out through our website, or there's at the end of the page. So or you can just come to join the Crypto Mass and then see our bikes.
Yes, exactly. It's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be
grab
fun.
some beer.
Crypto Mass is very important. Probably. Crypto Mass is really important events. It's not like
it's fun. It's very fun.
Yeah.
You can just bring up your bike, and you don't need your own bike.
Learn about the city. Learn about everything. Cool.
Thank you. I think that's a wrap. Any more questions? If not, thank you so much, Tano, Tommy, for contributing. And good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, guys.